we do got to get to some breaking sneaker news out of Toronto. I love the timing of having you here because Kawhi Leonard had a new announcement this morning.
Signed with New Balance, which we've been following New Balance all summer. They pitched Joel Embiid, they pitched...
Looks like we're gonna do it.
Let's play some basketball!
This is the NBA Storyteller.
Test. Here's a deviation. Video about now. Not really. One of the things that I said in the Popovich versus Kawhi video was that so much of the narrative required us to look at Kawhi in a certain way. It was about who Kawhi was in that light and how that Kawhi fit into the larger picture. And the way people saw him, all bullshit aside, they saw him as quiet, non-assertive, maybe a little slow. Thanks for reinforcing that belief, you dumb local grocery store.
Why? What is that?
It's a snowball.
So with all that, when people saw Kawhi that way, it was painfully obvious that this kid becoming a man is a Popovich creation. This man we see on the court becoming something great was a Popovich creation. He was a poor, lost kid who would have never blossomed into the player that he is today if it wasn't for Pop. It would have been impossible if not for Pop. And that's Gregg Popovich's role in player development, taking credit for who they become. Now see, I'm realistic here. He does do great things with basketball players. He legitimately gets the best out of otherwise weak-ass players. And he does make the best players on the team better team players. And to point our arrows back at Kawhi, all of this was most exemplified through him.
Kawhi Leonard.
The ultimate Pop creation. And this creation was more important than ever to Popovich, to make him the next Spurs legend. And more importantly, a good, obedient, selfless human. Because that's what's best for him. Pop knows it. Excuse me, Daddy knows it.
I feel like a daddy, to all these guys.
Oh, your coach calls himself Daddy.
I feel like a daddy, to all these guys.
Oh. See, Pop makes the man. Pop is a genius. But what I also said about Pop World is that it's a house of cards, built on a fault, built on a giant fault, the San Andreas fault. It's a structure of assumptions. And what happens when that fault line starts to crack open? Well, we might just find out. Specifically to Kawhi, we might find out that that's not who Kawhi really is. And what we're seeing was not the coming out and blossoming of Kawhi as his skills as a Spur developed, but what we were watching was the stifling and suffocation of a real, legitimate individual, a classic NBA superstar. Side note, we make a big deal about when LeBron leaves a team and how bad that team does versus how good his new team does. Just look at the situation now. Whenever it is, whenever this point is in the season when you're watching this video, just look at the teams, the team that Kawhi left and the team he's on now, and just look at their records. And just remember that the team he left also had all-stars on it. 2 other all-stars, 2 other potential Hall of Famers. But listen, being unstifled and being unbound doesn't have to mean he would turn into the most outrageous or outgoing person in the league. He's not gonna be the second coming of Shaq. But I did, in my previous video, believe that soon after his trade to Toronto, we would start seeing shades of a completely different person. And goddamn if it didn't take long at all. In his first presser, we got the iconic...
I don't even know where you're sitting at. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Laugh. Something he'd been hiding for a while, for the most part. Something that wasn't available to him, for the most part. And I remember that day. I was juiced, to the point of tweeting this. While most everyone else was making fun of the actual laugh noise and look, which is honestly terrifying, I was just happy for him. It was an awkward letting down of the guards. A man feeling his way out of an enclosed space into the free world. And even since then, we've seen Kawhi get his very first technical foul in the regular season.
To the rim, and there is a technical foul, and it is on Kawhi Leonard.
What? That's huge. It's small, but it's huge. Sure, folks are gonna say it's trivial, meaningless. It's not. It's not. Anytime you have a first in the league, any type of first, there is some sort of significance with it. And what we're also seeing is Kawhi make more public statements than he ever has. And he is not shying away from this public battle of words and reputations with the cave troll.
Gregg Popovich recently took a shot at the 27-year-old in the media, saying Kawhi was a great player, but he wasn't a leader or anything. Manu Ginobili and Patty Mills were the leaders. Kawhi's talent will always be missed, but that leadership wasn't his deal at the time. That may come as he progresses.
And shortly after that, Kawhi was presented with this, and this was his reaction.
Did you see the comments that Pop made yesterday regarding your leadership?
I heard about it, but you know, it's just funny to me because, you know, I don't know if he's talking about last year or not, but I guess when you stop playing, I forget how you lead, but lead by example.
So yes, sure, Kawhi was able to exist and excel in Pop's world, but it was only a part of him that was able to exist. And it's clear to me now that all of Kawhi can finally come out and play. And more power to you, Kawhi. I mean, shit. Kawhi has had a real fucking life with tough-ass lows.
On January 18th, 2008, Mark Leonard was working at his car wash. He got into a dispute with these people. One person walked up to him and fired several rounds at him. He was struck at least 10 times.
We were on our way from a game. He answered the phone. He hung it up. He said, "Mom, they said my dad is dead." I was like, "What?" He said, "My dad is dead." And
I just had talked to him that day, so it was pretty hard for me.
I just felt for my son, you know, a deep pain for him, because I know he loved him.
And Mount Kilimanjaro highs.
He won a state championship in high school. He took San Diego State to the greatest heights in the history of our program. And he's done the same thing in the NBA with NBA championship, NBA Finals MVP.
A scale that's unrecognizable to most of us. And across that scale, from the lows to the highs, through all of his journey, the constant is him. He's been in control, he's been managing his situation, and balling, and making folks around him better every step of the way for years.
San Diego State sophomore forward Kawhi Leonard has been characterized as having an unyielding motor. Perhaps that's why he played with the flu in the Aztecs' lone loss to BYU. His attitude has raised the play of his teammates as well, and one of the main reasons the Aztecs have risen from unknown to almost unstoppable.
He has plenty to build from and learn from his own damn life.
I think he was more driven and has become more driven to not succeed, but to make his dad proud. I think it's always in the back of his mind.
You know, I still think about him every day because he still could be here, but I want him just to be like amazed at what's going on and how like I just grow as a man to be better in life.
Kawhi Leonard is deep, but instead, when he rolls up to San Antonio and he's part of the first area-wide commercial that the San Antonians ever see, they have him out here looking stupid.
Only in California, am I right?
I don't know, man. I just really don't get this play. Quiet does not equal dumb. You ever hear of this strong and silent type? Ever heard of speak lightly and carry a big stick? I think that's the saying. And again, don't even try to tell me this doesn't matter.
I've been missed too small.
That's not a question.
If you think that, then you clearly... Okay, let me just talk from my experience. The local media, their job in their market of the team is in the business of making the local sports star look good.
Yes!
Heroic.
The Black Falcon.
Even when they suck.
Oh!
And this supermarket is a San Antonio staple. And I know it's just a joke, like ironic Nazism is a joke. But these things have an effect if you keep doing them over and over again, because everyone else walks away looking either in on the joke, above the joke, or a bad actor. But Kawhi, he's his own worst enemy because he delivers the lines so well.
I got you cheese balls.
That's it? That's all we got?
Cheese balls. What? They're bacon cheddar.
Which is commendable. That's talent. But since there's zero other offsetting advertisements in the San Antonio area, there's not a series of ads where he's a professor in a lab coat or something, then this is it. Dumb idiot Kawhi.
How about the 𝐊𝐵 oven-ready seafood meals that you can enjoy in minutes without the hassle of fishing?
Seems too long for a boat name.
I mean, there's another classic Popovich dynamic going on here, but we're gonna say that part 3. Point is, in reality, Kawhi had all the tools. He had a track record of success, but somehow everything is spun in the public's eye that Pop,
Daddy,
is at the heart of his success. You know what this reminds me of? I saw an interview a while back. It was Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish on The Breakfast Club. And Kevin Hart sat up there trying to take credit for where Tiffany Haddish is in her career. He's trying to say that the reason she's here is because of all the things I taught her.
It's my job to educate and make her understand this is the movie. So in entertainment, if she doesn't have the knowledge and the thick skin that she now has because of the fucking conversations out and beating her head.
And then she's like,
Don't you let
Also,
that get
from
into
my
you.
upbringing, I mean, I grew up in foster care. One minute I'm in the most wonderful home. Next thing I'm snatched out to the next thing thinking nobody there cared about me. So I've been trained and built for this. My mama used to talk mess about me and then next second love and kiss on me.
People are always trying to take credit for other people's success. And in the NBA, it is built for that. It's a freaking easy bake oven for credit snatching. In these cases, when you have an old established coach and a corporation is handing you 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, in a lot of cases who don't know a lot or haven't been a lot of places or definitely haven't been rich, they just prime opportunity to take advantage of somebody. And most of the time we see taking advantage of getting into their pockets, but Pop has realized that taking advantage of somebody is also taking the somebody. That's kind of clever. And most of all, from my own genuine core, it is sincerely sad to see this nearly 80-year-old man, this 80-year-old father figure, daddy, this beacon of hope after all these years, not be able to move on. To stay stuck on this petty ass shit at this point. His beef with the 20-something.
Daddy.
I mean, even after sending his star pupil to another country, to the coldest region in the league, you didn't get enough out of that? You still gotta take shots? Here's a fun one for you. After the trade, when the world's weight of responsibility was forced upon Kawhi's shoulder, precariously, folks were saying he needed to be the bigger man and go to Pop, attend his little USA mini cult, shake his hand. And Kawhi should be the one to dead this. Yeah, it's Kawhi's job, right?
You made this decision, you wanted out. Your team acquiesced, Gregg Popovich acquiesced. It's time to move on. You had a chance to go look the man in the eye who did what you asked him to and traded you. Why would you not do that to at least put that part of your saga behind you?
No! It was never his duty. And now we fast forward, when it really is time for everyone to just move on, we see who the real petty king is. And you know what? A lot of people might say, well, he's not talking about it because he wants to. He's talking about it because people are asking him about it. To that, I say, you clearly don't know basketball. Because Popovich, his whole shtick is not answering questions. His whole routine is pissing on reporters who ask him questions that he thinks are dumb.
What went wrong for us?
Yeah, this afternoon. Sorry, I lost my...
They played better than we did.
He doesn't have to answer anything, and he knows how not to answer things.
Tell him to jump higher and move quicker. And we'll tell Kevin, don't be so good. Come on.
So when he answers a question, and when he actually digs into a question and starts naming players as examples, it's because he genuinely wants to. And one more side note on Pop. He plays the press pool so hard. And here's a little life lesson for being a dick. As long as you shoot people a little knowing smirk, a little smile, then most folks will not call you on your shit. so you can continue to shit on someone or a group of people for 20 years.
If you're gonna start, can somebody else start? Because these questions are like unanswerable, they make no sense.
As long as you flash a little smile, a little "I'm just kidding" smile, and then everyone is happy, and you continue on with your Ask Dan ways.
You can't trust the media, come on.
Over here talking about Patty Mills is the real leader. What the fuck? Get out of here. Patty Mills. Who the fuck is Patty Mills? So, let's talk about the 6th estate, and the reason this video is a day late. Branding. Like I said in part 1, you know that little Jordan brand company? Little small upstart one that was doing such a real good job with Kawhi, you know, as their brand asset. Do you remember that little special edition Claw 7s they released after he won the Finals MVP? Then the years the Spurs almost won 70 games and Kawhi had an MVP share, they went all in with the "I may be silent, but I carry a big fucking stick" campaign. Remember that? Well, if you don't remember it as clearly as I do, maybe it's because everybody from Kawhi's manager, to his family, to Nike, to the Spurs organization, to Michael effing Jordan himself said, you know what? Let's wait on that. Let's shelve that. Because we need to get through 7 years of these HEB snack commercials before we get to that.
It's the perfect post-workout snack.
Y'all look ridiculous, especially you, Kawhi.
My mom made it. Opa!
Because that had to be what happened. But now we can consider phase 1 done, because Kawhi is out of the HEB contract, and out of the Spurs environment, and out of Pop's control, and out of the Jordan contract. And he's getting a full-blown celebrity superstar shoe deal, with plans to make him the face of the whole darn athletic shoe department, which seems to be something he wanted. See, New Balance, Puma, Fila, it doesn't matter what the shoe company is, because we learned something here. What we learned is that Kawhi Leonard is a healthy, red-blooded American man who is ambitious and into the shiny shit as much as any other celebrity athlete. Because you see, this is how we got here. When we as people don't understand something, we don't have information, there's a giant gap in our understanding, what we like to do is we fill stuff in with our assumptions. And when it came to Kawhi, everything we guessed about him worked its way out of 2 categories. 2 categories in a single Venn diagram. One of these deals, these circle deals. You've seen one of these. And it's useful because everything we thought we knew about Kawhi could be explained with this one diagram in one of 2 ways, and maybe sometimes a combination of both. One side being Kawhi's quiet. He's a quiet person. The other side is Popovich. What's the reason? Popovich is the reason. So when it came to his shoe deal, and more importantly, the non-leveraging of that shoe deal, the absence of everything that comes along with the shoe deal, and on-court success, commercial campaigns, marketing, signature shoes, celebrity, being invited places, hosting Saturday Night Live, we all just thought it was because Kawhi was quiet. He was meek, humble, not interested, which is remarkable. What a effing coincidence, because that's exactly the type of person that would work in the Spurs system. We all thought it was such a perfect match. How amazing. The perfect, quiet, humble, meek, doesn't want the attention kind of guy happens to be in the Spurs organization. Beautiful, right? It's fucking beautiful. He's just like Timmy. Just like him. But you know, with our new information, we know actually Kawhi does want that life. He may not get out much, but he's no late stage Howard Hughes. So, okay, we know he wants that life. So let's go back to our explain everything diagram. Well, if it's not this thing, well, it must be oh shit. And that's exactly why I spent 14 damn minutes talking about this in the past video. Okay, and again, I'm not saying Pop is canceling people's deals. I'm just saying that if you set the right environment, like a cult, and you establish all the levels of who's in charge, like a cult, and every single person in lab coats, white collars, red ties is behaving and promoting the same tendencies, cult, then when you rope in a young 20-year-old and bring him into that world, there's a good chance that 20-year-old will follow along, cult. And to be more blunt, Pop, RC, and Timmy, and whoever are all acting like the best thing for the team is to be low-key and not get distracted by brands and deals and shooting commercials. And all that stuff is selfish, and we're about the team here. I bet most of us don't question it. I mean, shit. The Spurs are the ideal franchise. They win championships. This is the best of the best. Why rock the boat? Pop says we're different here. We are different from the rest of the league here. And we do it our own way here. And Kawhi says, okay, sir. Who am I to question you? But the second that armor starts to crack, and the king and the court don't look so perfect, the sad part is that you see that crack, you must now question everything. It's like in Usual Suspects. You just go back in your mind, you start thinking about everything. You question everything. Is anything real? So when Timmy left, tried to make Kawhi his bottom bitch, and Kawhi got a view of what this life is, especially through the medical staff, and the "you play when we want you to play or we'll ruin you" approach, Kawhi saw the inauthenticity, the fraud, the selfishness, and he had to question everything. And that's the indifference we saw towards last year when he was injured. We saw him questioning everything until he finally got out. And one more thing, a final side note, a post-mortem here, literally. This is what Kawhi said. This is how he dealt with his dad's murder and living with the fact that they'd never found the killers.
I just moved past it, and I'm not worried about the person that killed him. But hopefully he does get found, but it's not on my mind.
So what do we understand here? If Kawhi can move past giving a shit about the people who snatched his dad's life, you really think you can bother him, Pop? You really think you can bother him, Pop? You think you can affect his path?
You think you can affect his path?
Pop, if this is what you think, by not being able to let this go, then Pop, I hate to say it, but Pop, but Pop,
I hate to say it.
You clearly
don't,
no. Do you know how this thing works? It's a microphone.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right, I want you to read these names, the ones that have a little person by them, okay?
Okay.
And say, these are, the higher the number here, the more thankful you are for that person.
Okay.
Okay. All right, action.
That reply guy. Abdul Abdi. Agni. Ash Liburn. Hold on.
He's from Australia. Go ahead. Lil Burn. It's like a rapper.
Ben Rumenap. Benjamin Dean. Bernard Banks. Bobby K. Washington.
Gotta like that K, right?
Want me to say that?
No,
okay.
yeah. No, it's
Bobby Keys.
Wait. Did I miss?
You missed a bunch.
Okay, there we go.
Chocolate Kool-Aid.
Yeah, chocolate Kool-Aid came in hot.
Oh. Woo! Kool-Aid. Chocolate Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. Feeling you. Chris Cullinan? Chris?
We call him Cully.
Chris Cullinan. Cully. Cuckoo.
All right.
Chuck Thompson.
Chuck's been around for a while.
Cordell Eddings. Dalton Lowe. But taking us high.
Here we go. Keep going. We have a lot more to go to.
Diego Straub.
All right.
Dylan Zawicki. Wiki. Gergo Hole.
I hope that's his real name. I hope Gergo Hole is his real name.
Haresh Nandagopal.
Oh, nope.
Oh,
never mind.
Haresh. Hartley Otavillo.
Excuse me.
Hartley B. Otavillo. Ian Taylor. Jay Toombs. Jeff E.
Oh, wait, no. What?
No.
Oh, they just had... No, these are good. These guys are good. Yeah. He is. All right.
Jesse Barber. We see you. Jet. JMR. Jordan Pusser. What's the rest of the name? Castonius. Jorge Maga Castonius.
Wonder what that MAGA stands for.
Mm.
We're glad you're here either way.
Thanks for being here. Joshua, what's the last name on Josh? Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Conrad Kaniki. LaRock Supreme.
He's a big guy around here.
We see you, LaRock. We see you. LaRock, happy Thanksgiving. Miraz Rahman. Martin Phobe.
What?
Martin Fob?
Bombi.
Martin Famba.
You think the B is silent?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. Tell us, Martin. Matt Werner. Niambi. Nimrod Heshaver.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said.
Paul D. Fernandez.
Ah, that's why you're here.
Roast Beef Chief. What up, Tim? Robert Johnson. Ross Slutsky. Samuel Wall. Snarl Malone.
All right. Do you understand Snarl Malone? You get that reference?
Nope. All right. Peace out, team. I'm going to go eat, okay?
All right.
All right. See ya. The kids are going to need a bath soon. Okay, bye.